Hey detectives, welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Jenda, and this is my Let's Play of Disco Elysium. Sorry if my voice does weird stuff, still touch of COVID, kinda coughing sometimes. I'm fine, but yeah, my apologies for that. So, let's see here. Where are our next goals? Traffic hooligan. Can't do that yet. That tomorrow. This, we owe them a bull. I don't know where to get one, but we'll keep an eye on it. We need to ask more drivers about smuggling. We need to get our badge, but I don't know where to get that yet. This late in the day. Booze. Don't want to find booze. Badge. Find some way to style paperwork. Ask about tattoos. Right, we never found this fridge. We gotta talk to the truck drivers and we gotta find this fridge.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. No, hold on. The last thing you need in your life is more hysteric emotions. Forget it. Find something else to do.
Okay. Now how do I find where the fridge is? Maybe I could ask the proprietor of the bookshop.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Yes, I've been told there's a huge fridge in the cellar.
A fridge? No, I don't know anything about a fridge. Aren't you interested in books?
She nods at the bookshelves.
For whatever reason, she's lying to you about the fridge. Seems like you have to find your own way to the cellar.
How about this, super obvious curtain right over here?
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you.
Was this here the whole time? Because I must have missed this before.
This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges.
Right.
Inhabitants of Île de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fishhead charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
Is this some kind of hypnosis? What are you doing?
Almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
I'm gonna pull open the curtains.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Her hand is closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman.
Psychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
What?
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness.
I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
The powers?
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
But I've heard this is about a curse?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
She's almost begging you. Well, I've heard there's a fridge I need.
Everybody suddenly needs something from there. Leave the curtains be. It's what it wants.
I'm gonna open the curtains.
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Okay, let's have a talk. Look, I just need a fridge. Really. I don't care about the curse.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance,
Why are we so uptight about the
Biographies
curtains
of
placing?
Famous people. I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books.
She recites it like it's a poem, or like she's playing a role she's grown tired of. She's so tense, it's a miracle she hasn't snapped in half yet.
Why are you still talking about books? You trying to put some kind of spell on me?
A spell? As if. This place doesn't need any spells or hoodoo mumbo jumbo. This place has wonderful energy.
She wavers under your gaze, mouth pressed into a tight-lipped smile. Then something breaks.
Okay, fine. It's just because this place is cursed, just like everyone said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing.
That doesn't sound great.
Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant.
Host of hosts, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the curtains.
Oh. So how does this manifest?
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around the dimly lit store.
It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
That's not really a curse exactly as such, in a supernatural sense. And then mentioned the previous tenants had some financial troubles.
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here.
I
It's
see.
the cacodemons feeding off bad business
Cacodemons.
practices and disappointing income statements.
Disappointing.
There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
You sought help from anyone?
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists, and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards.
She nods at the strange cage-like trinket on the
The wards
curtains.
help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough.
Is your pendant part of it as well?
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books.
I see.
There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%.
The fact that you're bankrupt suggests
Desert
it doesn't.
pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather
Sure
questionable
does.
way to describe a group of people.
Well, would you like me to investigate?
Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be, so they can return to their slumber.
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective.
Dang. Good thing I'm extremely good at
Slither
drama.
up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'm here to help. I've handled paranatural cases before.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before.
Oh, I'm a paradetective from a long line of paradetectives.
You're no paradetective. You look nothing like one. And you're clearly a drinker.
Wow.
Pardon me for being so blunt, but
Unbelievable judgment. I mean, yes,
You
but
look like one. The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook.
I admit I've had my share of drinks, but only because the spectral realm is parapsychologically taxing.
How do you know all this?
Here we go.
I don't know about that one. Your wards brought me here in the first place. The Seminese blood also runs through me.
Part Simonese. Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere chance. The hand of fate guides us. But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us.
No problem whatsoever. Your family is totally safe.
If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it?
On my honor, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
Of course, the entity. I have sensed its presence.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney?
Chimney. The passage between heaven and hell, of course.
That chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there.
What you discover? Probably just office space. And the damn fridge. Don't be scared.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay, but please,
Anything
only a few
else?
questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits.
This is a stupid question to ask. Never mind.
The woman looks aloof.
Alright, let's do it. So, the curse is that there's a homeless person living in the chimney. I don't know why.
You see a
she's just a
set
very
of tattered
superstitious woman,
curtains
clearly.
blocking the way to another room. A strange... You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards. Your shadow looming over it like an omen.
Oh!
A small, terrified "oh" escapes from Plaisance as she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryers. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man, merely looking at that unmanly haircut, threatens your masculinity.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room. You feel the tiny hairs on the back of your neck rise up, as if someone's standing right behind you. Outside, the wind howls in from across the bay. The building at Rue de Saint-Ghislain stands like a matchbox on its side, with men inside, like little wooden sticks, ready to catch fire. A panicking woman squeezes the pendant around her neck until it leaves a mark inside her palm. A man, a few meters away, stands frozen with a key in his hand. Somewhere inside, a spider is spinning its web.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Oh, Kim, are you afraid of ghosts?
What is this place?
I think this might be our Tematip's boxing club for young
I
athletes.
think you're right, though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Yeah, let's keep going. I'm sure it's a regular abandoned
Sounds
house.
good.
Nothing mysterious here. Tools. Tools. Oh yes, I have a flashlight. Sure enough. I've equipped it. I've equipped my flashlight. Can I hold 2 tools simultaneously? Oh wow, I can. Who knew? Sand is dripping from a punch bag. How was that sound? Ooh, a boule! Yes, it's perfect. I can give this to the old man. The poster says, Citius Fortis. The rest is worn off. I'd like to look at this weight.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
Kim, it's a trap. There's no collars on the barbell.
You're right. The weights may fall off. Better not touch it then.
Can't believe the bastard would just remove the collars. Should be a felony.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Let's just not injure ourselves. Worn out wall bars. They look unsafe. I feel like, aren't I supposed to be going down? The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Like the flashlight actually follows my mouth. Oh, look at that wrist movement right there. Spectacular. Okay. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Oh, those are some freaky shadows. I like it. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. Looks like the remains of the 24-hour window repair shop. Left 312 real behind. A naked mannequin torso. A strange yellow color. Blue velvet, soft to the touch. Moth bitten. This Emma's atelier? There we go. Real 55. Where are the clothes it used to display?
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Interesting. All that looks like one of those crazed crime thingamabobs.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space.
Let's see.
You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona.
What?
No longer a mere man, but a welkin.
Why would
One
I
of
do
the
that?
welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Okay, take a look.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged.
Oh.
The Haldor, the Tworg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures.
Why would anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game.
Understandable, to be fair. One of them is a Welkin supremacist.
Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
It sure does. Who drew these? Are they real?
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Agreed. But that's
Just
educational.
look at those details. So much effort.
Okay, the photos?
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Okay, but it's just a bunch of photos from the Arctic or something. Alright, schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money.
Pretty much.
It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
Huh, what happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
So,
Looks
bankruptcy
like they
happened.
didn't make it.
The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of
A
nothingness.
note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Okay, let's look at the
The
notes.
handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s. Outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call the doomed commercial area. She tries hard not to look at the bookstore windows. It's unwise."
Right.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
The radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
I take it these are very expensive, Kim?
What he means is that these things cost money.
Yeah.
Why would anyone just leave it behind?
But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers. This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Sounds expensive.
Maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition, officer.
You
The
can
body
always
looks
do it
fine.
after the fridge. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
This is where the memory should go.
Ah, it's not gonna work too well then, huh? Press play.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Something's missing. There's no tape in the player.
Right. What about print?
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no tape.
Right. So we don't have the We would need some kind of tape to run that.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading
Sure
over
is.
the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
How the hell am I supposed to know what Cajun mosaic tiles are supposed to look like?
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
Okay, so what am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
Is this some kind of elaborate piece of art?
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap.
They had a whole set of, like a band of radio stations dedicated to this RPG? Damn.
Someone very important.
Yeah.
A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency.
Who's playing then?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara.
So it's international as well?
There's no way
Aye.
a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this
This
off.
is like a big operation.
My god. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Yeah. The cost of air width alone must have been huge.
Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
So a hugely overambitious RPG project of some sort. Scribbled across a notebook. Developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
It's, I don't really think it looks like this. I mean, it's just a failed business, surely, but what the hell were they making?
Yes, that is the question.
The lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Yeah, could be. Has anyone ever done that before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
My god, they were making an MMORPG based on, like, radio. Guys, the ambition.
Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
This is just an RPG?
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Yeah.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
And what do we think happened?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Yeah, I think they went real bankrupt.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
They were crazy if they thought they could do this,
yes,
no?
especially in here.
The lieutenant looks around the derelict room. The The pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor in front of your feet.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Okay, that leads to another area. There's still something to explore back here, though. Skis with slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. What? Oh. Oh, memory. Sweet, I can put that in the computer, I think. Steel rotor blades bearing a slipstream logo. Alright, let's go put this memory in the computer and see what it does.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
So are you a machine or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. Now please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I see. Yvonne, my partner tells me you're here because radio computer guys are all paranoid.
They are merely cautious. It's my job to protect their filaments as a password repeater at the East Insulindian Station.
I see. But where are you? How did you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark.
Now please tell me the reason for your call, Fortress Accident.
Why you call me that?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
You have any other information?
One moment.
You hear her flip through a catalog before she reads out with studious care.
Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That is what they did.
That's not bad.
And what is this interactive call-in radio game?
Any other questions?
Alright, fair enough. What's the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
Right. Thanks for the explanation.
That was a question. Have you inserted it into the core?
Yes.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Password? Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
Right. This is the police. Please open this thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder, Fortress Accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password?
Could you give me a hint?
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
Is it my birthday?
Still no.
Yeah, I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Thanks.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Good.
Nope, still don't know the password.
Received.
Don't worry.
Fortress Accident.
Okay, that's all
Is
for
there...
now.
Thank you. and goodbye.
This is really fascinating. This computer's login system is based on placing a radio call to someone?
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Alright, we'll hold on to that for now, and hopefully we'll find the password one day, I guess. Thanks for watching, detectives. New parts will be up every other day, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like and subscribing. And have a nice day, detectives. This is Sea Lord Jenda, signing off.